And welcome to Daybreak. I'm Deb Uren, now Vice President of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Terry Stiles. I'm still the production manager at OCTV. So with the new year.
Yeah, it's a new
title,
year.
Huh?
It's a new decade.
Yeah.
And now it's a new title for me. After being 6 years of the president of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce, we now have a new president, Jeff Rowe. And but Jeff doesn't want to get on TV. So I'll still be keeping this position here because I love working with Terry.
Oh, thank you. I like you too.
We have a good time.
It'd be hard to get used to having somebody else sitting in that seat. I know it happens all the time, but
still,
that would throw me off.
Yeah. Well, so you'll see me now as Vice President of our Oxford Chamber of Commerce, and
still very much in touch.
Very much,
with what's
very
going
much
on.
so.
Yeah.
Yes, still quite involved, and you know, the position. It's a title, but it's a title that does have some responsibilities. So, you know, I look forward to seeing what Jeff will do going forward. You know, I mean, some new ideas possibly will come on board, which will be great, and we'll just see what goes from there. Our board is strong, and that's what's important.
It is. It's there's a bunch of good people on that board. We just attended the Coffee Connect for the month of January at McDonald's, and it was so nice to see everybody there, and I thought, wow, we've got a pretty good board going on. As of 2 months ago, I'm on the board as well, and it was nice to see everybody there. I came in late when it was over almost, but it was nice to see everybody, and we had a pretty good crowd there.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, I was not able to be there, so I was thrilled to see with the pictures that were put out on Facebook and in talking with Amy as well. You know, that we had a great turnout. A lot of there were some new faces there. Like, we always want to have new faces. You know, I mean, people should take advantage of the wonderful Coffee Connects and our mixers that we have. It's a great opportunity to talk with people. And as a board member, I've always stressed the importance of welcoming everybody. You know, I mean, that's part of, you know, you're part of being on the board and being those that make everybody feel like they're at home. And we have received, over the years, we've received more and more compliments as to how outgoing and friendly the Oxford Chamber of Commerce is. So I take great pride in that, and I think that it's great for our community. So,
and the board stays so involved with the community. I'm going to go back to another event that we just had, was the mixer, and that was nice too for the month of December at the brewery at the Gravel Capital Brewery.
Yes.
It was a full house. And it was people not belonging to the chamber board, or people that you see
and there were even non-chamber members, because I spoke with a couple of them that I have seen in years past.
With Dave Weckel, right.
And
really nice.
you know, it's just nice to know that they read the newsletter and they said, you know what, I'm going down there just to see, you know, how things are going.
And that was a great event. That was fun too. It's really nice to see the familiar faces that we've seen around the community forever, and if you certainly hope you are, but if you're patronizing our businesses, those are the people that attend those things. But it was really nice to see people I didn't know. I was like, who are these people?
Right.
Who am I? Shame on me.
You know, and you take them around to introduce them. When you find out, you know, what their business is, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to connect you with so-and-so. And you take them over, and then, you know, you just kind of pass them on so that they can get that connection going.
And they were all over the place. The people that I didn't recognize, they were talking to this group and this group and this group. So yeah, that was working.
It was.
What you guys are doing is working.
It was doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
Right. So if you don't belong to the chamber, you should really think about it. Even if you have like a home business. In fact, I was up in Metamora, your way, that little general store that used to be the gas station. And I was reading the back of the spice bottle to see what kind of spices were in it. And it said manufactured in Oxford, Michigan. H&K, I think H&K. So I'm like, I'm going to contact them. I've got their name on I took a picture of the back of the bottle. It's got their telephone number. I'm going to contact them and invite them into the chamber. You don't have to have a big office front to be
I'm a home-based business.
That's right.
And I've been a home-based business ever since I've been involved with the chamber, because prior to that, I worked at, corporate America. I worked for ITT Automotive, so I was traveling every day down to Auburn Hills, and I was in the accounting department there for 26 years. So when I then retired from there, it was like, okay, what am I going to do? And my first place was to join a chamber. And I became involved and had a at-home business, and I've had a few different businesses along the way, and still, I'm still looking and developing and creating new things. So. But, as long as you're involved with people, that's the important thing. That's what I enjoy.
You being involved with the chamber, didn't that get you involved with the business that you have now?
Yes. Prior to joining the chamber, I had joined what was called LBN. And LBN is like a small miniature BNI. And so LBN standing for Local Business Networking. And I went in with that. I breed Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, so I went in with the title of being a breeder, which then introduced me to people that had all these other businesses. And I then started talking with them, and I became distributor for this one company. And then from that, I became a vendor, but I joined the chamber literally, I think it was about 5 months after that. And
That's
so,
wonderful.
and I've been involved with the Oxford Chamber ever since.
Wow.
So.
That's amazing. So see how easy that happens. It can happen easily. So H&K, I think it's Hans Cologne. I'm after you.
That's cute.
Hans' family has been in business in the Orient community since his grandfather. And so he's the spice guy. So I'm going to get in touch with you, Hans.
Well, great.
It's exciting.
It's ironic that you would come into Metamora and see
and find an Oxford business.
See an Oxford business.
Right.
And we also have Metamora businesses that are involved with the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. Because we have a couple of them. One of them is Wolf Chiropractic. They are located in Metamora. They are also part of our OPN group, which is like LBN, like BNI, and it's just for the Oxford chamber members that you can be in there. And with that, it's only one business is represented. So let's say we have 3 chiropractors. We can only have 1 chiropractor unless you're doing like, if you're doing something different in your chiropractic practice, that would be the one item that you would be promoting.
Okay.
So, we can have different insurances, but one would have to be car insurance, one would have to be health insurance and home insurance. You can't all be doing the same thing, because then that's a conflict. So you're there to have referrals, you're there to help one another and to increase other people's businesses.
And there's a new Metamora business too that just came in, a kitchen something?
Yes.
Can't remember the name of it, but we're growing. It's really nice.
We are definitely growing. I believe I've got that name.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do
Saving
that.
Kitchens.
Oh, that's what it is.
Saving Kitchens on Dryden Road.
Yeah.
So
interesting name.
It is. It is. That's why it slipped my mind. I couldn't quite remember. But we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to be right back. So don't go away. Welcome back to Daybreak. Deb Uren, Vice President of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Terry Stiles, Production Manager at OCTV.
And we were talking about the mixers, so I just wanted to let you know when our mixer for January, when it is and where it is. This is going to kind of be a twofer. We're going to have a ribbon cutting there, and then following will be our then mixer. So we're going to be at Birdie's Indoor Golf and Bar, and that address is 980 North Lapeer Road. So that's in that little strip mall that is right by Myers. So very easy to find north of town. And it's going to be a lot of fun to be there. I've heard so much about it and have not had that opportunity.
Me too.
And
I can't wait to go in there.
It's a place like this that the winter is going to really, drive a lot of people to go there, because this is where you can practice your golf swings, and we're all going to be able to try this out, which will be
that's
fun.
Gonna be fun. Yeah, I think they're definitely all set up and ready, and
Yes.
they've been taking in customers, and I'm looking forward to it. It's
Yes.
right at the corner of that building. There's been a couple restaurants there.
Right.
Now they don't have alcohol there, right? Or do they?
No, they do.
They do.
They do. Yep. Because
Okay,
it is a
totally
bar.
set up and ready
Yes,
to go.
It is
Okay,
a bar.
That's
So
fabulous.
that date is January 30th, which is a Thursday. And that one's going to be from 4 o'clock to 6:30. Now, our mixers normally are 4:30 to 6:30, but being that we're doing our ribbon cutting there as well, our ribbon cutting is at 4 o'clock. So from 4 to 4:30 will be that activity, and then starting right into 4:30 will be the mixer starting. So mark your calendars, because that will be, it's a new place, and I'm sure a lot of people might not even know that it's there.
Yeah, it's in such a strange place, and I think that's why the other restaurants have had such a hard time there. It's even though there's a lot of traffic that goes by there, because anybody pulling into Myers has to kind of go by that, but it's in a hard, out of the way place. So
Right.
I'm encouraging everybody, please try to come in there
Right,
for that.
right.
That's a good excuse to stop, drop what you're doing, and come on in and see how they're doing. And
it's a good way to
it
end the
sounds like a
month.
fun place. Yes, it is. And we're that much closer to real golf outside.
Exactly. It gets us that much closer to spring. Oh, my
Right,
goodness gracious.
In fact, Deb and I saw what we think is a bluebird, so that's very
know.
promising today outside
What
the
an
window.
odd time. Here it is, January. We've got snow on the ground. And Terry says, "Oh my gosh, look, what is that bird on top of that sign?" And I'm going, "What is it?" And
looks like
we're
a bluebird.
both thinking, but we didn't want to say.
I know.
Until it flew away and you could see that
Came
belly.
right at us, that little red belly came
Yeah.
at us. That's pretty strange. And I saw a robin yesterday, and I know the jury's out. They stay, some don't. But I have, the cranes haven't been in a hurry to go anywhere either.
Oh my, no, I
I've
haven't
seen a couple of those
those.
on Seymour Lake Road
Oh my goodness.
just last week. So so good. That's a good thing. Play golf inside first.
Yes,
Till
yes.
it gets really warm.
Practice up. And also, speaking of that, our road construction, we're getting closer and closer
Yeah,
to the
spring.
road construction that's going to be starting in March. And, excuse me, even with my drive-in this morning, I come from the north of town, so coming into town just by the bridge there, normally I'm able to stay in that right-hand lane all the way up until Burdick. And today was my first time that I wasn't. And I was in town yesterday. So this must have just started today.
Things are happening fast, and
they
the
are.
changes happen quickly.
They are, and they're trying to get all of this utility work all done prior to the actual road being torn up and rebuilt. So a lot of activity going on in town, but you know what? Let's be positive about it, because it is. It's a good positive thing.
Oh, yeah.
And let's be cautious, because we have some people that have no patience when it comes to cars saying, "Well, you're not going. I'm not letting you in."
Yeah.
Hey guys, come on. You're still going to get to your
ridiculous.
destination. Let a car in and be on your way, but just be careful, because you get some people that just won't brake until they're practically right on top of that car in front of them, and being impatient is not going to get us
It's not.
anywhere.
It's actually going to back people up,
Yeah.
because and speaking of impatience, and you heard an earful before we got on the air, but traveling in that left-hand turn lane is so ultra dangerous. I've had 2 accidents from people traveling in that left-hand turn lane. And I know if you're backed up between Oxford and Orion or Orion and Oxford and you want to turn left on Drainer Road, there's that left-hand turn lane all the way up from Orion to Oxford, but that's not what it's for. I know that that'll get you there faster, but it may not. You may end up hitting somebody that's trying to get into that lane and they just didn't happen to look in their mirror.
Right.
So be patient. Stay in the lane that you're supposed to be in until there's room for you, or there's that opening to get into that left-hand turn. And I am going to do a piece on that and 4-way stop, just refresh everybody with Chief Solwald, just to refresh everybody those common rules that you tend to forget. 4-way stop has some rules to it, whether people know that or not.
Abide by them. You know, we were talking because we can recall going all the way back to the days of our driver's education.
Right.
So these rules and regulations have been in place for many, many, many years. They're not new.
Right. People just forget them.
It's either people forget them or, you know,
They don't apply to
some
them.
people, you know, just overlook it, or they never learned it because they were sleeping that day or
Yeah,
something.
who knows?
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
if nothing else, just common courtesy.
Well, there's rules for a reason. You know, we're all operating a 4,000-pound killing machine.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of rules, and, and we may not like them, but they're there for a reason,
there
and that's
for
to
a
keep
reason.
all of us safe. And,
Yeah.
and look out for the pedestrians, too.
Wow, yeah, and right now we don't have to contend with bike
Bicycles
riders
or
motorcycles or runners, even though there are some very dedicated runners that
Yeah,
will
bless
run
their
in the
hearts.
winter. But you know, when we get into those seasons where they're out there, it's like, oh my gosh. Nobody really owns the road. We all
Right.
have to share the road. So yeah, it almost seems like we should have these refresher courses.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
So hopefully OCTV can help out and remind everybody, and we all need to be super, super, super vigilant.
Yes.
On our roads this year, and that's going to go on until next winter. So we need to be, and the summertime is always the scariest on the roads anyhow.
It really is.
Really
You know,
is.
you would
You
think
got
that it would be
triggers and-
winter time just because of the weather. You know, when the roads are icy, it's amazing how many people think, well, my vehicle can stop.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
they, you know, wait till the last second to put their brakes on and watch
Slide
that they
through the
slide.
light, yeah.
But, you know,
And kids.
just be cautious. Let's all be
And
cautious.
Cautious and,
And
courteous.
courteous.
That's practice a double C.
There we go. There we go. And with that, we're going to take just another quick break, but we're going to come right back real soon, so don't go away. Welcome back to Daybreak. Debbie Oren, Vice President of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Terry Stiles, Production Manager at OCTV.
And thanks for staying with us. We've got another interesting segment here that we want to share with you, so let's go at it here.
We were, on the break, we were talking about the animals in Australia. And so first I want to go to volunteerism. That happens to be our theme at OCTV starting the year out. First of all, the Women's Club of Oxford is having the wine tasting party at Addison Oaks on January 26th. You need to contact Nancy Ray if you want to attend, and her email address is capital NANCY, capital JWRAY at AOL.com. I don't have her telephone number handy, but I don't know why her email address stuck in my head. But that sounds like it's going to be a fun evening. It's wines from around the world. There's sommeliers that you can talk to about the wines. There's beer specialists and beer from Gravel Capital.
Oh, okay, good.
I think Gravel Capital. One of our local breweries, anyhow. We have a couple of them. So that's going to be a neat night. Also, volunteerism. Deb was just mentioning, she saw something on Facebook. not to donate your suitcases to Salvation Army or Goodwill.
If you're going to be giving up your luggage, instead of giving it to, either Goodwill or Salvation Army, like we do so many of our clothes, so that, someone can really use this. What I saw was giving them to an organization that helps with foster children. Because all too often when a foster child is relocated to another home, they're given a garbage bag to put their belongings, and how sad is that?
That is sad.
So if these suitcases that are secondhand suitcases, which are still of course in good condition, can go to these children so that they can pack their belongings and feel
Have some ownership.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, what a wonderful thing. What a good feeling that would be. So I'm sorry that I just saw it this morning prior to driving out here, and it just clicked with me, but I don't have that. But it's definitely something you'll see on Facebook, or you can at least do a search on it for foster children.
You could probably also contact Oakland Family Services in Pontiac. They do have a foster care placement department. So
wow.
you could probably contact them and see if maybe they could use them, or they could at least refer you to where those suitcases could go. Also, Oakland County, they have a juvenile foster placement center too.
Okay.
So you could contact Oakland County and find out. There's always someplace, maybe churches would know.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of stuff I never think about. And I have some in my attic I could get rid of that, some kid probably would really enjoy it.
Exactly. So.
And also, so this is close to my heart because River Tuck and I have been working on this from before Christmas till now, and they're finally on the air, both programs. There's a husband and wife out of Pontiac that moved to, they had it in their heart, they said God put it in their heart to help the children who are most in need in the world. So her husband, his name is Dan Smither, it's Rachel and Dan Smither, did research and found out that Durban, South Africa has the highest amount of crime and AIDS in the world.
Oh my.
And so consequently they have quite a few orphans that set up encampments. There's 16 outside of Durban, South Africa, and they're living up in the hills, above the sewage treatment plants. So in the morning, all they get is steam from those sewage treatment plants. And the only reason why they're able to encamp themselves in the hills is because the Durban people, the wealthier people, can't use that terrain. It's too steep and too woody and too. So these families and kids are living there. And so Rachel and Dan, 12 years ago, packed up their 4 girls and just plopped themselves in the middle of Durban. And Dan started going around to see who needed help. And it started with 1 child, and now they're helping 2,000 children.
Wow.
And in the meantime, Rachel has developed this choir of these children it's magnificent. They have 50 children. It's part of a leadership program. They stay involved with these children from birth to them giving birth in their 20s and 30s, and they stay involved with the families. But these children have toured the United States 4 times now. They've had sponsorships. Sponsors each take over on 1 child, and so they've got at least, they've brought 25 over. They started in Washington D.C., they went to New York City, Jersey, and they ended up here in this area. And Camp Echo Grove, speaking of volunteerism and helping out, housed these children the entire time they were in Michigan. They left, today is the 8th, they left January 8th, back to Durban, South Africa.
Oh my.
But they need sponsorships. They need volunteers to help here when the kids come over, and they come over at Christmas time, and they're magnificent. And then they also need donations to feed those children. Some of those children never had shoes on. Don't know what it's like. So all that to say, River Tuck did his Schooling Around episode 116, on these children, and we got to go out to Echo Grove and speak with Dan and Rachel and speak with the children. He interviewed the children, and I interviewed Dan and Rachel, and it was magnificent. I felt like I was talking to angels. We walked in Camp Echo Grove, and they never met us before. They knew we were coming. They all came up and hugged us and smiled and beamed, and out of the blue, out of the middle of it, we're doing interviews, etc. They broke out in one of their songs, and it's just there's no way we could even capture it on camera how magnificent it was. The building had a A-frame ceiling, so the acoustics were amazing.
Perfect.
All I could do was sit there and cry. I held the mic and cried. They're just such joyous children.
Yes.
Up into they had two that went through the program and are now chaperones. And we're hoping to get one as an intern here, but we'll see if that comes through. But anyhow, go to their website. It's just type in Key of Hope, and that website will come up. And if you want to do something to help them, they're doing magnificent work over there in South Africa, in Durban, and they've helped children from all 16 encampments in 12 years. These people are magnificent.
Is totally amazing.
Yep,
just
totally.
amazing.
Key of Hope. Key of Hope. Rachel and Dan Smither, and then they also have a staff now, and their staff is people that have gone through their program. It's just amazing. And Mike Dare of Oxford Community and his wife introduced us to them. Mike and Peg actually went there and helped them out, and they've also put one of the students through college, through a year of college. And she did so well that she earned a scholarship for next year, so now another child can be helped. So I said
what a wonderful way to start off our year.
Yeah. So watch OCTV.
Exactly.
Oh,
that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful segment.
It is. It really is. And I've shared it on Facebook. You can find it on YouTube. It's Schooling Around, episode 116 with River Tuck.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, I'll tell you. You know, I recall talking last year at the end of the year just talking about, giving and sharing and helping people.
So important.
And really it does make everybody feel so good when you're able to do that.
Yes.
And it isn't that you've got to give a lot, a smile says 1,000 words. When you can be kind to people, that just can make anybody's day.
Yeah, it's so true, and you never know what people are going through.
No, you really don't. And even if they give that facade that life is great, I don't have any worries, I don't have any problems. You really don't know what's going on with people. And for a husband and wife team to uproot their children and really do something like this, Personally, I can't even imagine, and I just
I know
applaud
their
them.
strength. Yeah, their strength and what they've done for so very many people. It's not just the 2,000 students that they have at their facility, but what those students bring back to their little encampment community, and then further to their extended family. Some of them have grandparents or aunties and uncles taking care of them, and so it's the numbers are unfathomable.
Yes, yes.
God bless them. So your little $10 donation. Also, I'm going to talk about this really fast. Everybody knows Gary Elzerman, the guy, he's known as the guy on the carver on Baldwin Road, the wood carver. He's facing some health issues that are very, very costly, and he's worked for himself for many years. So a friend has started a GoFundMe page for Gary. He's got to have some very extensive heart surgery. So look at the GoFundMe for Gary Elzerman too. $5 will help. you know.
All right. Well, what a wonderful way to end
Well.
our segment with let's have a heart, guys. Let's give what little we can, as much as we can, but let's be out there to
Wherever we
help
can.
our neighbors, brothers, sisters, and family. So with that being said, we're going to close this up, and we will see you again real soon. So take care now.